from fraudulentfinancialfollies.com. Man goes through bankruptcy and he stuns the world. This is a quote. I identify as a bank and am filing for government bailout money to save myself from going out of business. The 6-foot-tall man with no walls, doors, tellers, or registers on his person told a speechless bankruptcy attorney. Anyone that refuses to accept my identity, which means to me giving me the money that I want so I can live how I want, is a bankophobe and a bigot, and prejudiced against people that are willing to be brave and do the difficult thing by coming out of the vault door closet. So support me in my identity. This man is also reportedly going through the changes to use the money he's granted by our intelligent, wise, and completely responsible government to construct a building around him and begin the transition to look like a bank physically. After all, why not? We go along with all kinds of madness, don't we? People that say they're something they aren't. Why stop with males and females? Credit for this headline goes to my favorite Arizonian Razorfist on his stream, the Razor Force 48. Okay, so I had to give you a little bit of satire. Hopefully that got you a good chuckle. Want to remind you that if you leave a comment, it'll be featured in the comment section mailbag every episode. So if it's funny, interesting, or weird enough, has a good chance of being read during that segment of the podcast. And I will read them every podcast. All right, let's now look at something. This was a very weird phenomenon, and I actually talked about this in my, I think it was Friends of the Fog 11, right? Where I had Samuel on the podcast. There are tons and tons of people in the lamestream media who are trying to say that the shooter, I'm not even going to say his name, unless it's accidentally, like I did in that episode with Samuel, but I'm going to try my best not to say his name. I'm not going to, because a lot of people want the notoriety and the clicks and the views, and they want to be some kind of weird, hated celebrity. I mean, it's weird because most celebrities are loved, but I guess in this case, he's content with being hated. And that's what this guy wants. He wants to be a celebrity for the left, I suppose. And so we're not going to read his name here. But a lot of people in the lamestream media and even online media, like there's people who are sort of political commentators, but also sort of not, in the sense of I don't think of them as like the Young Turks or, for that matter, CNN or MSNBC. I'm talking about a Vosh, a Hassan Piker, or a Destiny. They're just kind of these stupid idiots with YouTube channels that go live every so often. And they talk about politics, but they have no qualifications to do so. They have no base of knowledge. They have nothing that they've really read that educates them. They don't cover content that actually leaves their listeners better off. And people like them are also people in the mainstream media and the Young Turks. A lot of people are making the claim falsely that the shooter, Charlie Kirk's murderer, was far right. What am I talking about? What basis does this have? Because this idiot, this bad, evil person who assassinated Charlie Kirk, squatted while wearing a tracksuit. And if you think I'm kidding, no, I'm not. So this is from the idiot's mom, who I will say, from what I know of the parents, they seem to be okay people. She posted, this looks like it was from 2018, October 31st. Happy Halloween, handing out candy alone since these weirdos ditched me. And then I took out the guy's name and put, idiot is some guy from a meme. Someone else, which would be a brother, I think, is the crazy end of the world homeless guy, and blank is a fancy skeleton. Hashtag my kids are weird. Hashtag happy Halloween. Hashtag boy mom. So she posts a picture of the future shooter of Charlie Kirk squatting in a tracksuit. Now that phenomenon of a weirdo guy squatting in a tracksuit is not new. It's also not a right-wing thing. And now the reason why some people are trying to say that that is right-wing, this guy, the future shooter of Charlie Kirk, squatting in a tracksuit, is because of this. And for those of you who are watching on Rumble and YouTube, you're able to see things as I put them up on screen. So here, for those of you listening, is a picture of Pepe the Frog squatting in a similar-looking tracksuit with a bottle, I assume, of beer at his feet. And since it's Pepe the Frog, which for those of you who don't know is an online internet meme often used to portray right-wingers, a lot of people on the left said, oh, well, because he's squatted in a tracksuit, that means he was trying to look like Pepe the Frog, therefore he's far right. Haha, point proved. Not true at all, as I pointed out. That has happened. It was a meme phenomenon for way before Pepe the Frog did it. Because for that reason, why would Pepe be doing it in this meme? Pepe squatted in this meme, is shown squatting in this meme, because of an existing cultural phenomenon of, I guess, squatting in a tracksuit. Maybe it's to be contemplated. Maybe it's to look sad. I'm not really sure. I don't understand that part of the internet. It's weird. But that's what the thing is. People are trying to look at this and say, oh, since it's Pepe the Frog, and since a lot of groypers, which are fans of Nicolas J. Fuentes, since that's frog is often used to portray groypers, it looks like Tyler, idiot, whatever his name is a groyper. I didn't mean to say his name just now, but I'm going to keep going. And it's not true, because, for one thing, this groyper movement, I am not of this movement. I don't really listen to Nick Fuentes. Every now and then I'll see something of his and I'll listen to it. I'm definitely not what I would consider a fan of his, but I'm not going to go into all that, because a lot of that is just infighting from perspective. My perspective is I don't need to be pointlessly causing e-drama. There's e-drama channels, people that love to cause drama and cover them. And I could name those names, but I'm not going to, because it would be hypocritical, because it would start drama. But anyway, I'm not a fan of the guy. I know a lot of what he does. And look, some of the people that follow him, I will say, are good people. I'm not going to talk about the other people, but some of them are good people. They're very Christian. We may disagree theologically. Some of them are Catholic. I'm not. I'm very Protestant. But some of them are very Christian people. They want Christian values for our nation. They want to shut the border down. They want to end the wars. They want to improve society in a very right-wing Christian direction, which I subscribe to, which I agree with. A lot of them are Christian nationalists, which I'm almost done reading the book, The Case for Christian Nationalism by Stephen Wolfe. And I have been very clear that I consider myself to be a Christian nationalist as well. I also consider myself to be, probably small r reactionary, not in the sense of being like a Mulbuggian, but more like a Michael Warren Davis reactionary, counter-revolutionary reactionary, traditionalist, things like that. And I can go into that more in the future, but right now I'm covering news. So that has been an attempt to paint him as someone on the right, which really hardly anyone on the right is taking it seriously, but I wanted to explain it for those of you who do not know. Now, one thing that we should take very seriously, I just kind of covered something that I pointed out, it's not really a big deal. It's just kind of a fringe thing that needs to be debunked, and it can be debunked very easily. Now, here's something, though, that I wanted to play for you, because there's a big lie going around that I wanted to debunk. A lot of people have been saying, oh, the right and the left need to turn down the temperature. They say that the temperature in this country is at a boiling point, and so the right needs to turn down the temperature, as well as the left. And this is something that I saw, and I want to reverse slightly. When Charlie Kirk first died, a lot of people mourned on our side, over on the right. Some people on the left cheered, and then other people on the left were just quiet. And then others on the left, this is kind of the other response, were people that made excuses. They would say, well, I'm not saying I'm glad, but ... Well, I think that political violence is wrong, but ... And if that's your first reaction, oh, this is bad, but you need to reconsider. Because that is not the right position to take on this. It's all political violence is wrong, all political violence is evil, and you condemn it strongly. Full stop. No buts, no ands, just quiet. Just say this is wrong, this is bad, and then you can add, I'm sorry for your loss, Eric Kirk. And I'm sorry for the loss for the children. And at least give it a week, give it a month, for a while, before you start commenting on what you think needs to be the solution. For those people who are opposed to Charlie, they want to now push for things like gun control. That's what happened with Kyle Kalinske when he found out that Charlie Kirk had died. But of the people that celebrated, some of you may have the perception that it's just one or two people. And I want to assure you that no, it is not. Take